Greetings, team. Today I have for you my DIY MrCool mini split install. As you can see, I have her running right now in my study. I've got that bad boy running, and I need it to be a consistent temperature. For this space, for this environment, the MrCool mini split has been pretty great. The install was fairly simple.
Use a 3.5-inch hole saw to drill a hole in the wall where you left the reference mark. Make sure the hole is drilled at a slightly downward angle to ensure proper water drainage. You'll line the handler up with a mounting bracket and hook the top of the handler to the top of the bracket. Apply force to the bottom half of the handler and make it snap into place. After that, you'll connect the DIY line set to the air handler's piping. Start by hand, tightening the comparably sized connections together until secure.
If we go ahead and go outside, we're going to go ahead and see where it comes out of. There we go. There's the other side of that outside wall. I did have to buy a separate kit to cover the line set, fairly inexpensive. The line set with the DIY kit came with this wrap. That's a UV wrap. These both lines and some returner and the electrical wiring is in there, so it's holding it nice and tight, so it works out great. This is the drain line. This just has to sit here, so when you run the air conditioner, it's going to drip off of there. And we'll sort of get a peek from the top here, but I was actually able to sneak my mini split underneath the staircase there. Following the manufacturer's guides, the biggest distance that it needed was in the front. We need a couple of feet of clearance in the front. And as you can see, I definitely have that. The next biggest clearance that was going to be a problem for me was actually that side, but it actually fit nicely right under there. Protects it from the snow. It's nice being under here because the line sets are not that pretty. Once you install it, it's not that pretty. This is the electrical. This is the power. This is the electrical control that goes to the inside unit you just saw. This disconnect box that I installed here. Very standard AC disconnect box that you have to install. And that just goes to the power box, which is right next to it, which you can turn the mini split off. As you can see here, I installed a 240 volt option. So in case I needed to, I could always upgrade to a 240 volt unit. The unit you see here is actually a 120 volt unit, and it's actually working pretty darn good. The mounting brackets I put on the back of this shipping container here, and I actually just welded the main channel onto the shipping container, and then these actually just slid onto it. So that worked out okay, worked out all right. I was debating if I would have to go through bolts, but it's holding pretty good. The vibrations are not that bad, thanks to the little rubber feet that this unit actually comes with. These rubber feet, by the way. It comes with this mounting bracket and these rubber feet, and then this is its own separate kit that you can buy. I'm going to drop all the links I can. I got all the peripherals on Amazon, and I got the MrCool unit from Home Depot, believe it or not, of all places. The reason they call this a MrCool DIY mini split is because of these connections right here, which are actually threaded connections. So the line set is pressurized, and the unit is pressurized, and you can't see it, but inside the building, that unit is also pressurized. So all you have to do is get 2 adjustable wrenches or 2 larger wrenches, and you hold this down and tighten this, and the manual tells you exactly how to do it, and then you just release the pressure as it shows you here, and you're pressurized. You don't need any extra special equipment. The electrical, of course, is the same in a DIY versus a non-DIY, meaning one that you have to buy a vacuum pump and potentially others where you have to provide. Yep, that's a tire. Yep. No, this is a camera. You can't have this. This is Daddy's camera. This is Daddy's toy.
Oh, you want this? Sorry?
Yeah, you can play with that. You can play with the wheelbarrow. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, good job. If you're in a snowy climate, they do actually recommend putting something to block the snow off of the unit, especially if you're going to use it in the winter months, which I do, by the way. The SEER rating is for up to I believe it's a SEER 21 for this specific unit, rated for down to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. So not bad. However, I'm in Wisconsin. We get well below 5 degrees for at least a couple of weeks out of every year. And I am pleased to announce that this unit was actually able to keep up. It was able to keep my office here nice and toasty even when it was down to -10 core temperature. Now, I have a feeling that the SEER rating dropped drastically. However, when I looked at the power consumption from last year to this year, it actually wasn't that bad. That was the biggest concern I had. They do have the Sub-Zero mini split units that I thought I might have to get, but I figured for the only few grand that this unit cost, I figured I'd go ahead and give it a try with, if it didn't work out, I could potentially get the Sub-Zero unit, because the Sub-Zero unit I think was like double the cost. So I thought it would work, which I was right. I just thought the price would be insane for keeping this running, but no, pleasantly surprised. The only real complaint I have with the MrCool is the control system. And what I mean by the control system is I can't really do everything from the remote. So it does come with this nice little dock, which is nice. It's kind of like the little thermostat. The lowest you can set it with the remote, I'll go ahead and show that to you, is the lowest you can set it to is 60. In the winter months, and I'm not in here all the time, I'm only in here at most 3 days a week, and I can't just have it completely off because I have a lot of sensitive things in here. I didn't know that when I first got it. I wanted to use only the remote. Luckily, MrCool has an app that allows you to set something called a comfy mode, which you can set the temperature down to 40 degrees. And how it does that is it just monitors the temperature from the temperature sensor in there. And if it sees it go below 40, it will turn the unit on and then heat up the environment until it hits a preset amount that you set. And then it will go ahead and turn the unit off. That's worked pretty good for me. There is a mode that allows you to set a deep freeze, but that's more of like a storage condition.
Daddy.
Hi, sweetie, go get some chips. So that's the only complaint I have. The remote only lets you go down to 60. You have to use the app to go lower than that in the winter. Oh, sure, I'll open your chips for you. In the summer months, I'm gonna be able to use the remote like I wanted, so that's gonna work out fine for my needs, I think, because I'll just turn it on, except for those deep August days where it gets close to 100. I'll probably use the comfy mode again for the midsummer when I'm not in there, just to keep it at a reasonable temperature and not cook my sensitive electronics. I want this to be as close to a room without having to pay the prices of a room. So overall, pleasantly surprised. The added cost in the winter wasn't bad. It's gonna be cheaper than a windowed air conditioning unit, and it's definitely cheaper than a bunch of those little things, which if you have a big enough room and you keep it at 40 during the night and then you run it up to 65 when you first get in here, you're gonna need a little bit of space heating just to keep yourself comfy while the device warms up. Part of that, of course, is to do with this outbuilding's insulation. The roof is R30, walls are about R22, and the floor is R30. So that absolutely has a little something to do with it. I could have done better, but even with that minimal amount of insulation, it's been quite wonderful. If you're on the fence of it, I would say pull the trigger. So until next time, I'm the ill-informed human. Goodbye.